Hola, buenos días. Soy Nico. And today, we are in a robe, a t-shirt, sweatpants, and some crooked glasses. Nico, it is cold in New York City. It is extremely cold, and I'm trying my best to get work done while freezing. But we are going to move forward. I just want to ask that when we have this discussion, it is handled with maturity, and it is also handled with understanding for Robert Davis. Nico, I'm going to get on to why I do not necessarily feel sorry for Josh if these speculations are true. If it comes out that this isn't the situation, my viewpoint on it will change, but let's move on to the actual story. So, Josh Kruger, I don't know if I added the OA, but Josh Kruger was a local reporter in Philadelphia, a 39-year-old white man who had a strange relationship with a 19-year-old black teenager. Nico, why do you say that? Because police described it as they were acquaintances and Josh Kruger was just trying to help Robert Davis through life. And in my mind, I'm thinking, so if this benevolent 39-year-old white reporter was just trying to help an acquaintance 19-year-old, how they would meet, I don't know, through life, why would Robert Davis allegedly take him out of this world? So as I began to look more into this, because I saw the headline and I'm like, this doesn't necessarily sound right. They begin to go more into detail when interviewing Robert Davis's family. And basically the mother and brother said that Robert grew up with mental issues from not having a father within the home, but at 15, when they allegedly began to see each other, because Robert confided into his family that they had a relationship spanning for years. So Josh is 34, Robert is 15, and they allegedly began this intimate relationship where Robert would begin to come home extremely late, if not at all, and when he showed up, he would be high on substances. So we've seen time and time again in news stories where older, wealthy white gentlemen will attach themselves to younger black teens or underage black men, and they will get them high on substances to partake in whatever activities they wanted to do. So from here, we have a setting. We have a setting on the accounts of the family, because once again, it would not make sense for a 39-year-old white man to be randomly helping a 19-year-old black man through life. It makes absolutely no sense. So going forward, we get the reasoning as to why Robert allegedly did it. The mother said that after the police raided her home, she got a phone call from Robert where he seemed scared and frantic, almost admitting to the crime, where he basically said he was asking me to do things that I did not want to do, and he kept threatening to blackmail me with inappropriate messages and videos that he has of me to do it. And then he hung up. And the reason I say I believe this is because though the police described them as acquaintances, associates of Kruger turned in his phone where they found photos, messages, and videos that were disturbing and highly inappropriate, but they don't necessarily know if it was of Davis. But that evidence was sent to the Special Victims Unit for further investigation, and now they're trying to find Davis to properly question him on the matter. So if we found evidence of blackmail material in this man's phone, if he is attached to a 15-year-old, now 19-year-old, because they've had a relationship that has spanned years, and the teenager, the child is actively saying he was asking me to do things that I was uncomfortable with and was threatening to expose me and blackmail me, so I took action, I believe the teenager. Nico, I understand this might be controversial, Y'all can talk about it in the comments, but with the evidence that we have at hand of inappropriate, explicit messages that was sent to the Special Victims Unit, along with a 39-year-old man having a connection to a teenager. So at 35, he was messing with a 15-year-old, allegedly. I do not feel sorry for this situation. If anything, I feel sorry that Robert Davis's life is about to be changed forever. If anything, even if he goes to the police, odds are his life will not return to normal. He's probably going to be arrested and locked up for a period of time for taking this man out of the world. But at the end of the day, I do not feel sorry for PDF files that are taken out of this world. I'm not gonna feel sorry for you that you got your comeuppance messing with a 15-year-old and getting them hooked on substances allegedly. Because we've seen this happen time and time again with wealthy politicians. We've seen this happen with the Jeffrey Dahmer situation. This happens when people that are outside of our community know that they hold power over us and target our youth. So once again, if all of this information that the police are putting out is factual, I'm not feeling sorry for Josh. It's not gonna, no empathy is going to be coming out of me for a PDF file being ushered onto the next plane of existence. I believe, let me stop. Nico, when it comes to taking advantage of young people, I am very extreme about it. So I was about to say something that could have got me demonetized and or like in trouble, but I would not feel bad if all PDF files magically vanished. I would not. There would be not a singular tear in my eye. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. But I definitely want to hear your opinions down below, because I randomly saw this news article on Twitter, and I feel like not enough people are actively talking about this, especially because we've seen it happen in our community time and time again. And when this usually happens, the police never actually like handle it with care or reason. I think one of them was named Ed Buck. That was the wealthy politician that was picking up young, vulnerable Black queer youth off of the street and getting them hooked on substances and then tossing them back out. Then there was the situation with Jeffrey Dahmer where he would also target young, vulnerable Black queer youth and would basically take them out of this world after giving them substances and getting them to the point of being defenseless. So we've seen it happen too many times. History repeats itself for me to actively feel sorry for this man. It's just not going to happen, but I definitely want to hear your opinions down below. Did you hear about this story before me? Because once again, I feel like if we can sit down and talk about Big O, if we can sit down and talk about like OnlyFans teen, oh, the girls are fighting, we can also talk about serious things that affect our community. But moving forward, because I have nothing left to say that is going to be politically correct, and once again, I wish peace on the Davis family. And when Robert gets found, when he turns himself in, I hope that his sentence isn't too extreme, because once again, he was a 15-year-old being groomed and drugged, essentially, by a wealthy white man. And that's just something that I'm not gonna like switch sides on. But yes, I'll see you guys next time, and I hope you enjoy your weekend. Boop. And now for a brief yet sincere shout out to this week's Third Eye Tier subscribers, Randy W. and Kylie Quixote. Your continued support is greatly appreciated, and thank you once again for everyone who supports the channel. And this week's live stream will be over unprotected queer youth and the difficulties of navigating young adulthood as a queer person without a proper safety network. If that sounds interesting to you, definitely tune in.